Some of my favourite photos ever were taken on a phone. No big artistic statement, no expensive camera, just 1.3 megapixels and an eye for the weird. This video is about Jerry Hsu and his Nazi gold. This is Jerry Hsu. He's a Taiwanese-American skateboarder who grew up in San Jose, California. He started skating when he was 9, went pro for Maple at 17, and has since grown into one of the most beloved skateboarders on the planet. He skated for Osiris, Enjoy, Chocolate, and E-Merica, to name a few. More recently, he started a clothing brand turned skateboard company, Sci-Fi Fantasy. He's pretty famous. If you know anything about skateboarding, then you probably already know who he is. You probably also know that he's a photographer, and he's pretty good at it. Like everyone else in skateboarding, he got his start in photography by taking pictures of himself and his friends skating. Epically later viewers will know that he was even arrested for attempting to shoplift his own photos when he was 13. While Jerry is both a skateboarder and a photographer, it should be noted that he is not a skate photographer in the traditional sense. What I mean to say is that he doesn't shoot photos of skating. While I'm sure that he's good at it, it seems pretty clear that his primary photographic interests lay outside of the skateboarding world. It feels like Jerry has always had a natural inclination towards photography. He's often seen with a film camera in hand. In 2013, he released the photo book, The Killing Season, which was shot on 35mm and chronicles a trip through Vietnam. However, it would be the rise of the camera phone in the early noughties that saw the birth of what Jerry Hsu is most known for in photography today.
Once we started using data to share photos, we could freely send photos to each other instantly. That is completely ubiquitous now, but at the time it was pretty new. It just felt really cool to be able to, I could send a photo to someone in another country and they could see it instantly and we could start talking about it.
He would do this a lot. Take photos on his BlackBerry and send them to his friends. However, it wasn't until he started uploading them to Tumblr in 2009 that things started to get interesting.
Tumblr, blogs, Instagram, Facebooking, internet famous. God damn it, it's so fucking goofy. You guys ready to order?
This 2009 Tumblr blog would be titled Nazi Gold. To sum it up simply, Nazi Gold is a semi-randomly uploaded archive of Jerry Hsu's mobile phone photos. To say that they feel like a window into someone's photo app seems almost pointless as a comparison, because they are literally this. There are a lot of photos on this blog, 1,203 to be exact, each inconsequentially uploaded without a caption. Just pages and pages of stuff. Thematically, you could call it street photography, but that's really where any notion of a theme ends. You've got photos of his wife, Kat, photos of his friends, photos of signs, graffiti, food, people shopping, people sleeping, people eating. Basically anything and everything that Jerry thought was interesting at the time. He stated that he's not even sure if this collection of images is art. He describes them as unphotographic. But to reduce them to just randomly selected photos from a phone would really undermine Jerry's legitimate skill. Because despite what I'm sure some of you are going to comment, Jerry is a good photographer. His photos feel achingly honest, like an alien trying to document the absurdity of life on Earth. Despite using a technology that Jerry himself describes as not fit for high art, he manages to capture genuinely compelling stories. Take this one, for example. It's a photo of someone sleeping rough. Their once smart shoes neatly placed together and their legs crossed. The incongruity of these neatly placed shoes atop a cardboard bed builds a whole story about this person in our minds. Without ever seeing their face, you get this strong sense of character. What I love about this image is that it doesn't feel like traditional documentary photography. Jerry isn't trying to turn this person into a symbol or make some grand statement about poverty. It feels more like he noticed a small contradiction hidden within something that most people would simply walk past. Or what about this photo of a paper-mache'd head in a box? I get that it's supposed to be a reference to the ending scene in Seven, but like so many of the images on Nazi Gold, you end up completely lost trying to understand the context behind it. It's weird that someone decided to make this, and it's that weirdness that Jerry seems drawn to. This is also an example of another reason I think this collection of images is so good. It's funny. Like this photo of Jerry's urine sample, or this one of a guy catching Jerry taking a photo of him dyeing his beard, or any of the hundreds of self-portraits scattered throughout. Nazi Gold is as funny as it is surreal. And then there's Table for One. Table for One is a separate Tumblr blog uploaded by Jerry that consists entirely of photos of people eating by themselves. You could call it a subgenre of Nazi Gold. I've heard Jerry talk about finding humour in the small tragedies of life, and Table for One feels like the clearest expression of that idea. These photos sit in this strange space between funny and genuinely sad. In a different photographer's hands, these images could easily become sentimental. They could be about loneliness or isolation, but Jerry seems completely uninterested in pulling your heartstrings. Instead, he naturally finds something absurd in these moments. And a lot of that absurdity comes from Jerry himself. Like the idea that he's sitting in the room with these people, secretly observing and collecting them. Or there's just the sheer scale of the series. You can imagine taking photos of this maybe 5 or even 10 times. But Jerry Hsu has taken and uploaded more than 400 photos of people eating by themselves. At some point it stops feeling like a photography project and starts feeling more like a strange compulsion. Much like Nazi Gold, these photos are also taken on Jerry's phone. But it should be stated that Jerry doesn't do this exclusively. He isn't some purist that insists that this is how all photography should be. This isn't even Jerry's main photography practice. He's been in several group exhibitions and has contributed loads of photos to Vice over the years. It's very clear that he loves photography in all of its facets. His non-phone photography is also amazing, like his car crashes, for example. Nazi Gold and Table for One are simply a demonstration of an area within photography that is often overlooked. Jerry posted to Nazi Gold from December 2009 to March 2017. Then again in 2017 and 2018, Jerry released 2 photo books titled Lonely City and A Beautiful Flower is the World. These books contain a curated version of his Tumblr blogs. They are Nazi Gold legitimized. Jerry calls them the blog's final form. By binding Nazi Gold into a physical medium, Jerry Hsu completes the project. It's now an actual curated collection. Like the rest of us, Jerry still uploads phone photography to Instagram almost daily. And while it's tempting to view these images, and those on Nazi Gold, as this singular project or philosophy, I don't really think that's the point. What makes these images compelling isn't the fact that they were taken on the phone. Most of these photos seem to exist because he simply noticed something and wanted to share it. One of the amazing things about Jerry's photography is his ability to treat ordinary moments with the same curiosity that other photographers might reserve for important moments. The accessibility of a phone just makes it quick and easy to capture them. That's really what I've been trying to highlight by sharing these images with you. Not that everyone should throw away their cameras and only shoot on phones, but that photography has always had far more to do with observation than the camera itself. To end this video, I want to read a part of the foreword to The Beautiful Flower is the World. It's written by Jesse Pearson. And I want to do this because, as one of the people that Jerry would text these photos to, I think he sums them up better than I ever could. His friends who received photos in this book via text messages, a cohort I'm lucky enough to be a part of, got these things as little surprises in the course of their day, as chances to share Jerry's sight for a second and feel an empathetic connection to him. Now in this volume, these photos have accumulated into a mass of moments that, taken as one, offers us a strategy with which to look at anything and everything. And it's true, the world really is like this. Beautiful, sad, and so funny. Thanks for reminding us, Jerry. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video. Follow me on my Instagram and join my Patreon if you want to support me. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.